And I know you guys use Linux a lot on day-to-day basis. I just wanted to show you what other things there are apart from CD and LS. I'd like to highlight no machine versus SSH. If you do not need graphic interface, it is always faster and easier to use SSH. This works on your laptop using Mac. First, connect to AnyConnect, and then you will see a magnifier button on right top of your window. Click that, just type terminal there. And if you're using Windows, just press the Windows button on your computer and then type PowerShell and then run that. And what you do is just SSH and then minus capital X, your ID in the server that you're trying to connect, and @ sign between. And it, in a way, forces you to use Linux and Vim and other stuff. So what I do is SSH minus X is opening a port for visualization. It's a good practice to include minus X always, just in case. And then your ID in the server. And then @ sign for us is ares2 partners.org. And you connect it. Then you will see a welcome sign like this, and then you're connected. First command is echo. Echo is very simple, but it's powerful. Echo haha, echo Kevin, echo empty echo. So it is just printing whatever I type on the terminal. It seems like a useless thing, but it will become quite useful later. So keep in mind, there's an echo. Next command is a date. You can quickly get the date. So let's go to a home directory, and then you make a empty directory called Linux _ practice _ July. Let's go in there. You can name it whatever you want. Let's go in there, and then let's try touch this time. So what you do is you type touch, and then let's do ABCD. You see nothing. Let's do ls now. So there's a file created by this touch. So let's look at how big this file is by ls minus -artl. This is 0. Let's just make sure it is really empty by just printing them on the screen using cat. B, C, D. It is empty. So touch is creating a file which is completely empty, but is making a placeholder for future use. Okay. One use that I can think of is if this is a shared directory that I'm working with Simone, I can touch. Hi, Kevin is working on this. Really quick log like this so others can look at it. So just know that there are things like this. And then let's try exit. We're going to get out of the terminal and come back to our laptop terminal again. Type exit. Okay. Like common command that you use in Linux, like ls, what is in my home / Linux practice July, I'm giving a command directly to the SSH. Let's see what it does. So this directory is what I just created. Okay, let's see what it does. Without completely connecting it, it is printing, getting back the output in my terminal. Good. Let's connect back to the server. Then what I want you to do, I created a simple bash file which will create example for you. So follow me, bash /data /pnl /kchar /example data. There will be Linux tutorial and then create example. Okay, I'm going to run this. Good. So let's go to a home directory. There should be a folder called Linux tutorial. Do you see them? I'll show you. Don't follow this. So in the folder that is just created, there will be a MRI root folder. If you go into the MRI root folder, there's a raw data, which is bits style structure. So this is like a folder and directory structure that we use in neuroimaging, and this is how we clean out data. So if you go into raw data, there are a bunch of subject data. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 subjects. If you go into one subject, there will be a section. So this is a longitudinal data. This subject went into an MRI machine 4 times, and we have the data for them. And if you go to first session, then there's anatomical data, which is T1, and DWI data. Let's go into anatomical data. Then there's nothing. Go into DWI data. This guy doesn't have the data here. So let's check session 2 and anatomical data. So there's a nifty image for this guy. And there's a DWI. So this person has DWI. And how many subjects and sessions are there? Like, this is our life. We have to type CD and LS so many times. This is what I do all day, seriously. But there are ways to get around this. If you want to find all of the anatomical images, which looks like this, each subject has different prefix, but they all end with _anat.niigz. Let's do this together. So go to Linux tutorial. So you will find the file from here. From here, I want to find the file from where I am at Linux tutorial. I would like to find a file with a name. I means I'm gonna search for capital letters as well as small letters. And then it has to end, it can be whatever in the beginning. Whatever means star here, but it has to end with anat.nii.gz. And then end quotation mark. So let's try this. So find from here, find all the capital and small letters that has whatever in the beginning that ends with anat.gz. Okay, then it's gonna return list of paths that matches your finding. So let's find DWI now. DWI has the same pattern, subject, session, and then underscore DWI. Let's do DWI. Then it returns you everything. So say these diffusion files are all corrupted. We would like to delete everything that ends with underscore DWI. Let's do this, which is finding whatever that ends with dwi.nii.gz. Then on this finding, you will execute something. So what I do, rm space. Okay, I'm gonna run this. Don't run this, please. Don't run this. So I just ran it. So let me find if there's anything that I can get in this thing. There's nothing. So we can give patterns to delete, and we can do something else as well. We can copy them into different server if you. So another command that you can use is a tree. So from the top directory, it prints all the files. So let's type tree and then type enter. Then it's gonna print a bunch of files. And you can look at the structures like this. And let's move on to AWK. So AWK is a column selector. Let's go back to our find example. Let's do anat. We will just want to select session ID or subject ID. So there's a thing called pipe. So pipe means it's gonna put your outputs into different commands. So this thing here is called pipe. Do AWK. AWK will split your input. So -f will tell AWK to split the inputs by something. So I want to split this line by slash. Okay, I just want to split this line by this slash. And I want it to print the first item from the split. So from this item, from this line, I want to split them by slash and get the first item. Let me try this. So after it's finding the file, it is splitting the text by slash and it's giving me the first item, which is dot. What if I change this into 2? So give me second item. It's going to give me third item. It's giving me 4. And if I want just the file name, I just go down like this. So I got to the file name. So you don't have to memorize anything. What you have to do is that you just have to know there's a function like this in Linux and then search them in Google when you need it. I think that's the best way of learning this.